On September 12, 2005, in the city of Norfolk, Virginia, Madison Elizabeth was welcomed into the world by her parents, Heather Sparrow and Richard Prestige. She was the middle child with an older half-sister, Gwendolyn, born in February 2005 from Richard's prior relationship, and a younger sister, Molly, born on October 5, 2014, who quickly became her closest companion. Eventually, the family settled in Newark, Virginia. As the oldest of 8 cousins, Madison had a natural affinity for children. She delighted in playing with them and often organized enchanting magic shows. Her infectious laughter and cheerful spirit were a beacon of joy to those around her. Yet, there were moments when Madison became withdrawn, a pensive look crossing her youthful face. Her father, Richard, often remarked on her wisdom, noting that she possessed an innate ability to observe and reflect before acting. Madison's loving nature could effortlessly brighten anyone's day, especially with her heartfelt hugs. By the end of 2014, when local troops faced overcrowding, Heather stepped up as their first leader. At just 9 years old, Madison joined the Brownie section, designed for girls aged 7 to 10, eager to embark on her journey in scouting. Her friends and family cherished Madison's unwavering loyalty and kindness. With a natural curiosity, she thrived on learning and exploring, which led her to join the Girl Scouts, a global movement dedicated to empowering young girls. Madison quickly distinguished herself as one of the top cookie sellers, earning numerous badges for her outstanding contributions. Over nearly a decade in the Girl Scouts, she forged lasting friendships and shared countless adventures. In a testament to her nurturing spirit, Madison volunteered with her younger sister Molly's troop, driven by a desire to inspire and empower the next generation. Her commitment to the Girl Scout oath, which emphasized service to God and country, defined her character. Madison was undeniably kind-hearted. Like many young girls, she had a penchant for fun and mischief, and even in her teenage years, she remained the reigning queen of pranks, constantly orchestrating parties with her friends. From movie nights to sleepovers filled with makeovers and manicures, Madison reveled in her friendships. Though she could stay awake until dawn, she often found it a challenge to rise before 2 p.m. the following day. Before concluding her elementary education, Madison forged a close friendship with Annika Stausinski, a peer born in Newark on July 9, 2005. Their bond solidified as they prepared for exams together, sharing laughter and support. Annika's life remains largely a mystery, though it is known that her parents were Robert Stausinski and Robin Kearns. In 2006, the family resided on Aaron McDrive in Newark. After finishing junior high, Annika and Madison transitioned to high school, where they encountered new friends, including a pivotal character in this unfolding narrative, Noah Sharp. Born in Newark on August 23, 2005, his presence would soon alter the course of their lives. Details of Noah's upbringing are scarce, but it is known that his mother, Nikia Sharp, raised him alongside 2 siblings, David and Brianna. The trio often indulged in simple pleasures like enjoying ice cream together on warm summer days. Their friendship flourished, and they would often take long walks in the lush outskirts of the city. However, when Noah and Madison crossed paths, an undeniable spark ignited between them, and within a few months, a tender teenage romance blossomed. Initially, they were infatuated, lost in the euphoria of young love. Yet, in early 2024, after a little over a year of dating, Madison made the surprising decision to end their relationship without explanation. The two parted ways amicably, agreeing to remain friends. Noah, however, was left heartbroken, unable to shake his lingering feelings for Madison. Meanwhile, Annika stepped in as his confidant. Their bond deepened as they began meeting more frequently and exchanging messages nearly every day. While Noah struggled with his heartache, he eventually began dating another girl. Despite Noah's new romance, Annika maintained her friendship with Madison. She even attended Madison's 17th birthday celebration on September 12, 2024, bringing a thoughtful gift. That day, Heather, Madison's mother, observed that Noah still seemed troubled by the breakup. When Annika learned of this encounter, jealousy surged within her. She could not bear the thought of her beloved Noah remaining friends with his ex-girlfriend. Consumed by resentment and anger towards Madison, Annika was determined to make her pay for what she perceived as an unearned happiness. Annika's feelings of betrayal boiled over as she plotted to confront Madison, unwilling to accept the reality of their entangled relationships. This tension would soon unravel in a way that none could have anticipated. In a chilling revelation, Annika and Noah, consumed by hatred and jealousy, meticulously plotted to end Madison's life. Their sinister plans unfolded through a series of text messages, FaceTime calls, and clandestine meetings where they exchanged ideas about potential weapons and methods for disposing of her body. In the aftermath of their heinous crime, the messages exchanged between the teens became increasingly unsettling. These chilling communications revealed their intent to inflict suffering on Madison. Annika proposed various methods to Noah, showcasing their dark creativity. Among the options discussed was the terrifying idea of delivering a fatal stab wound to Madison's heart. They also contemplated the use of a shotgun or a baseball bat, as detailed in official documents. However, the pair quickly dismissed the shotgun option due to the inevitable noise it would create. Despite Noah's hesitations, they ultimately settled on the idea of employing a blunt object during their grim discussions. Their planning grew more macabre as they calculated the number of bricks required to ensure Madison's body wouldn't resurface if they chose to dispose of her in water. Faced with any uncertainties, they resolved to bury her instead, relying on Noah's knowledge of where to procure shovels. Eventually, they believed they had devised the perfect plan. Madison had a fondness for ice cream and a deep love for Halloween, eagerly anticipating October each year to celebrate her favorite holiday. Annika, well aware of her friend's tastes, orchestrated a seemingly innocent outing. On Friday, October 2, 2024, she called Madison, suggesting they indulge in ice cream and spend the day together. Madison, thrilled at the prospect, immediately agreed. Having not seen Annika in a while, she looked forward to the outing and planned to buy a gift for her younger sister, Molly, whose birthday was just 3 days away. That fateful day, Madison donned her favorite outfit, black tights, denim shorts, gray boots, and a blue sweatshirt emblazoned with New Jersey. She accessorized with ghost-shaped earrings, perfectly embodying the spirit of Halloween. At 2:44 p.m., she bid her mother farewell, promising to return later. It would be the last time Heather Sparrow would see her daughter alive. Hours later, her phone lit up with self-deprecating messages, seemingly sent from Madison's number. These messages suggested that Madison was leaving the country. Initially believing it to be a prank, Heather replied, wishing her daughter well and reminding her that she had left her passport in the safe. However, Madison did not respond. Despite Heather's persistent calls, her daughter remained unreachable. As the unsettling messages continued to flood her phone, the mother's worry deepened. As the hours stretched on without a word, dread began to seep into Heather's heart. The realization that something was terribly wrong loomed over her, casting a shadow over the last moments she would ever share with her daughter. Madison Elizabeth had spent the day with her younger sister Molly, attending scout classes and swimming lessons. While Heather, her mother, was preoccupied with the day's activities, a growing sense of unease settled over her. The silence was deafening, and as the minutes passed without any word from her daughter, worry began to take hold. In a moment of desperation, Heather decided to reach out to Annika, knowing the two girls had planned to meet. When Annika answered the phone, her voice trembled with emotion. In a heartbreaking confession, she revealed that an argument had erupted between her and Madison, prompting her to drop her friend off near a store. Annika's suggestion to contact Noah, a mutual acquaintance, lingered in the air, but Heather felt a knot of anxiety tightening in her stomach. Heather had already attempted to reach Noah, but he had not responded. Reluctantly, she asked Annika to try again, clinging to the hope that he might have some answers. However, even after their conversation, Heather found herself still in the dark, grasping for any shred of information about her daughter. Confusion enveloped her as she made her way home. Just when she thought things couldn't get worse, several messages flooded in from Madison's friends. They, too, had received alarming texts from Madison, all equally cryptic and disturbing, heightening Heather's sense of dread about what was unfolding. Upon arriving home, Heather launched a frantic search for any indication that Madison had run away, but her efforts were in vain. The birthday money Heather had given her, along with her clothes and credit card, all remained untouched in her daughter's room. The baffling messages only deepened her fear. Madison had no motive to leave, especially without her belongings. As the clock ticked toward 8:30, panic surged within Heather. With no sign of Madison's return, she dialed 911, reporting her daughter missing. The urgency in her voice reflected the rising terror in her heart as she continued to reach out to anyone who might help locate Madison. Days passed in agonizing uncertainty until the tragedy reached a heartbreaking peak. All attempts to locate Madison Elizabeth were futile. Upon receiving the devastating news, Heather, her mother, rushed from another city to assist in the search. She also reached out to Madison's ex-husband, who lived in Colorado, informing him of the grim situation. Without hesitation, he took to social media, pleading for anyone with information to come forward to help find his daughter. The following day, Saturday, October 3, 2024, Delaware State Police Troop 2 issued a gold alert for the 17-year-old Madison Elizabeth. This alert activated the critical search protocols for missing individuals in the state of Delaware, particularly for a vulnerable teenager. For 2 agonizing days, police search teams, family members, and countless friends scoured the farm fields near the University of Delaware, the last place Madison was seen alive. Local media joined the effort, broadcasting search notices and urging the community to provide any possible leads. Meanwhile, Delaware State Police began questioning Madison's friends, quickly honing in on one suspect, her ex-boyfriend. Witness accounts revealed that Madison had ventured into the wooded area behind an elementary school where Noah Sharp, her ex-boyfriend, was also reported to have been that day. Detectives moved swiftly to detain and interrogate him. The interrogation stretched on for nearly 9 hours, spanning from October 4 to October 5. Noah, initially evasive, spun a web of conflicting stories, adamantly denying any knowledge of Madison's whereabouts until the pressure became too much. In a shocking confession, he finally admitted to killing her. He also implicated Annika Stausinski as his accomplice, claiming her jealousy towards Madison fueled their heinous act. Noah recounted the emotional turmoil caused by his breakup with Madison, stating that Annika had lured Madison to the secluded woods. As they walked along the path, he crouched behind the bushes, gripping an aluminum baseball bat tightly in his hands. Noah described how Madison, blissfully unaware of the impending danger, was cheerful as she spoke to her friend. In a sudden, brutal ambush, he leapt out and struck her on the head not once, but twice. With a chilling calmness, he revealed that he poured all his anger into that second blow, a culmination of months of pent-up rage from the heartbreak she had inflicted upon him. He could no longer contain his fury. In a frenzy, he continued to strike her lifeless body. After the brutal attack, Noah and Annika transported Madison's remains in Annika's car to a remote spot beneath a bridge near the intersection of Interstate 95. This location was a mere 15-minute drive from where the crime had transpired, conveniently located next to a warehouse. Upon arrival, they attempted to conceal the body by drowning it in the river. When their efforts failed, they resorted to digging a shallow grave right there. Armed with the details from Noah's confession, detectives meticulously searched the area. Following his instructions, they unearthed the aluminum baseball bat, the murder weapon still bearing traces of blood at the crime scene. They also discovered the charred remnants of the clothes Madison had worn when she left home. Noah then guided investigators to a wooded area near the intersection of Interstate 95 and Delaware State Road. It was there that he and Annika had buried Madison's body. Junior Corporal Heather Piper reported this grim discovery on October 5, 2024, sending shockwaves through Madison's family, friends, and the community at large. They discovered the clothes Madison had worn the day she vanished, partially burned, a haunting symbol of the horror that had transpired. The suspect led investigators to a secluded wooded area near the intersection of Interstate 95 and Delaware State Road. It was here that he and his accomplice had buried Madison's body, a chilling revelation that Junior Corporal Heather Piper reported on Monday, October 5, 2024. The news sent shockwaves through Madison's family, her friends, and the community at large, shattering their sense of safety and peace. The autopsy results were devastating. Madison's death was attributed to a blunt force trauma to the head, an act of violence that left her family in despair. DNA evidence collected from the crime scene and the location of her body pointed unmistakably to Noah and Annika, entwining them irrevocably in this tragic narrative. The evidence against Noah was overwhelming. He faced charges of first-degree murder, possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a crime, and first-degree conspiracy. On Monday, November 16, 2024, he was remanded to a correctional facility, his bail set at $1 million, more than a month after the horrifying events had unfolded. 17-year-old Annika was also taken into custody after the New Castle County grand jury charged her with first-degree murder, possession of a deadly weapon in connection with a felony, and first-degree conspiracy. The devastation rippled through Madison's family. Heather, grappling with unthinkable grief, repeatedly expressed that no explanation could ever justify the loss of her daughter's life. Her haunting request to the court was clear. She demanded that the criminals responsible for this tragedy never be allowed to harm anyone again, even in light of Noah's chilling confession to detectives. In a poignant plea to the court, Heather Sparrow expressed her deepest wish that those responsible for her daughter's death would be unable to harm anyone ever again, despite Noah's chilling confession to detectives. At one of the preliminary hearings, Noah's attorney disclosed a troubling narrative. She claimed that at the time of the heinous act, Noah was grappling with possible schizophrenia and was under psychiatric care. The room fell silent, the weight of her words palpable. She went on to explain that just 3 weeks before the tragedy, Noah had sustained an injury in Chester County, Pennsylvania. The lawyer elaborated that this head injury had led Noah to experience memory lapses and other troubling symptoms, yet she remained vague about the specifics of the injury itself. As the narrative unfolded, it became evident that this injury might have played a significant role in Noah's mental state leading up to the crime. However, details regarding the injury's cause and severity remained elusive. In a dramatic plot twist, Anika, a key figure in this unfolding saga, entered a guilty plea in May 2023. She faced charges of first-degree murder and conspiracy, and her decision to testify against Noah revealed chilling insights into his sinister plan to take Madison's life. Court documents disclosed a troubling pattern. Several individuals, including those close to Madison, had alerted the police about Noah's alleged alter ego, a second personality that he had purportedly shared with them. Prosecutors alleged that it was Noah himself who had disseminated this information, weaving a complex web of deceit. After 2 agonizing years of waiting for justice, the trial commenced on October 20, 2024, in Newcastle County. The courtroom was filled with anticipation as around 30 witnesses took the stand, most summoned by Deputy Attorneys General Matt Frawley and John Downs. Among the evidence presented were hour-long video recordings of Noah's interrogations, showcasing his shifting accounts until he ultimately confessed. The defense, however, sought to undermine this confession. They argued that the police had subjected Noah to prolonged interrogation, with attorney Monica Jerome asserting that detectives had manipulated the situation, coercing Noah into providing specific responses under duress. In a further attempt to cast doubt, the prosecution unveiled a series of text messages exchanged between Noah and Anika as they plotted the crime. Faced with this overwhelming evidence, the defense proposed a theory that someone else had control over Noah's phone, suggesting that he was not the one communicating with Anika. The courtroom drama intensified as Noah's family members took the stand, their testimonies painting a conflicting picture. His mother, Nikia, insisted her son had returned home dry on the evening of October 2, while his brother, David, contradicted her, asserting that Noah was soaked and appeared as if he had crawled through a swamp. Tensions escalated as Nikia recounted how Anika had calmly entered their home shortly after Noah's return, a stark contrast to David's account of Anika storming in, full of rage, and slamming the door behind her. The courtroom was rife with contradictions, adding layers to an already complex case. Prosecutor Matt Frawley pressed Nikia, probing deeper into the evidence that would ultimately shape the narrative of this tragic crime. On the evening of October 2, when Noah returned home, his brother David observed that he was drenched and appeared as if he had emerged from a swamp. Shortly after, Nikia noted that Anika entered the house with an unsettling calmness. Conversely, David recounted that Anika had stormed in, visibly angry, slamming the door behind her. During the proceedings, prosecutor Matt Frawley pressed Nikia on whether she had discussed the evidence surrounding that fateful night. In a surprising turn of events, the prosecution presented a damning audio recording of a phone conversation between Noah and his mother. This exchange took place just a month prior to the trial, during which they discussed crucial evidence captured by surveillance cameras at the elementary school. Noah's words hung heavily in the air as he revealed details about the video, hinting at the dark events that had transpired. Noah had entered the courtroom during the official indictment and, with a defiant gaze, pleaded not guilty. The courtroom buzzed with speculation as whispers suggested that his defense might argue he was suffering from mental illness at the time of the murder. In a haunting moment, captured just an hour before Madison's tragic murder, surveillance footage revealed a figure walking near the school. His face remained obscured, provoking a wave of relief from Madison. Yet, the video further depicted an African-American man, matching the height and build of Noah, venturing into the woods with a girl, baseball bat in hand. This unsettling imagery raised questions in court as the defense scrutinized a head injury Noah allegedly sustained on September 13, 2024. They also examined another significant blow he incurred after an accident on his bicycle just hours before his police interrogation on October 4. Noah's defense team posited that these injuries might have induced dissociative amnesia, an attempt to rationalize his inconsistent statements. However, the prosecution remained skeptical, suggesting that the injuries could be part of a larger conspiracy to murder Madison, a claim the defense struggled to counter. As the trial progressed, Annika took the stand. Her testimony lasted approximately 3 hours, during which she recounted how Noah had convinced her that Madison was disparaging her behind her back. Yet, those who loved Madison were adamant she never spoke ill of her friends. Following 8 grueling days of court hearings and the presentation of over 250 pieces of physical evidence by the prosecution, the jury deliberated for no more than 3 hours before reaching a verdict. This verdict was presented to Judge Ferris Wharton on Thursday, October 27, 2024. Before announcing the decision, the judge implored everyone present to maintain their composure. In a moment of decisive justice, 22-year-old Noah Sharp was found guilty on all counts, including first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. As the jury's verdict echoed in the courtroom, Noah and his mother displayed no visible reaction. In stark contrast, the Sparrow family erupted in tears of relief. Before exiting the courtroom, Noah turned toward his mother, offering her a smile. Regarding Annika, following the sentencing, prosecutors noted that under Delaware state law, she faced a recommendation for life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 30 years, given her status as a minor at the time of the crime. As this harrowing chapter closes, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Until next time, friends. When the jury announced their decision, Noah Sharp and his mother, Nikia, remained eerily composed. In stark contrast, the Sparrow family erupted in tears of relief, a cathartic release after enduring a harrowing ordeal. As they prepared to leave the courtroom, Noah glanced back at his mother, a faint smile crossing his lips, a moment that belied the gravity of the situation. Following the sentencing in Annika Stausinski's case, prosecutors outlined the repercussions under Delaware state law. They indicated that she faced a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 30 years, a consideration stemming from her status as a minor at the time the crime was committed. As the narrative unfolds, the audience is invited to reflect and share their thoughts in the comments. Viewers are encouraged to subscribe and engage with the channel as the story continues to develop. Until next time, friends.